Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. Gary Griffith, the political leader of the National Transformation Alliance. The country would have just seen and heard a media conference by the Prime Minister, Keith Rowley. I have now lost 2 hours and 53 seconds of my life, and we have all done so. This man has spent 120 minutes and 53 seconds wasted our life, has said nothing to assist the development of Trinidad and Tobago. When a prime minister has a media conference, and all of his media conferences have always been designed as nothing more than a political platform, he has a media conference and says and does nothing to assist in the lifestyles of Trinidad and Tobago citizens. Nothing to improve health, the economy, social development, national security, education. 2 hours and 53 seconds to attack and discredit political opponents. It is unfortunate, but that is the nature of the beast. We have now come to what he was speaking about. One of the things he spoke about had to do with a comment that I made on a PNM radio station on Saturday. So the PNM, in their desperation, in the hope that they could discredit Gary Griffith, decided to put me on a station with 27 questions, all designed in the hope that it could affect me. It backfired. They were in quicksand because every question that they asked, I was able to expose the incompetence of Keith Rowley and his government. One of the questions had to do with the concern about the OPVs. The comments made by Keith Rowley about something that took place over 15 years ago when it was first purchased, it exposed the ignorance of the individual in Keith Rowley in understanding national security. We have presently 11 vessels acquired for the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard, 11 vessels to patrol our waters. And at this time, under Keith Rowley, one is operational. That is what your focus should be, Keith Rowley. We have a situation where Keith Rowley has spoken about this OPV and voices concern to give the perception that when I stated that the funds used towards the Damen vessels would have been used from what was there for the OPVs, he tried to allude to the fact that I was a liar. Keith Rowley, it shows your total incompetence in understanding basic budgets, basic accounting. A Form 2 has better knowledge in accounting than you, Keith Rowley. The point that I was getting at is that we acquired OPVs. These 3 OPVs, I asked Trinidad and Tobago, type BAE/corruption. You will find 17 countries that accused and sued BAE for paying kickbacks to government officials. This is the OPV that the PNM continues to speak about. And I challenge anyone in the PNM to talk to me mano a mano on a debate about your defective OPVs. Those OPVs from BAE cost to the taxpayers, it would have been $2.4 billion, estimate of $800 million for each OPV. As the National Security Advisor, I was able to look and be able to find the same OPVs, not as defective as these OPVs that we were getting with a defective weapon system, and 2 years they could not deliver. But we got the same type of OPVs from Colombia, from Israel, and from Korea at 400 million TT each, half of the price of what we were going to pay for the BAE OPVs at 800 million. So we were going to pay $2.4 billion for 3 OPVs where we could have acquired it at the cost of $1.2 billion. The nonsense and the ignorance of Keith Rowley in understanding national security. Keith, an OPV is there to secure your exclusive economic zone. That is 12 to 200 miles of in a deep water. So the stupidity of Keith Rowley in trying to allude that the OPVs would have been there to stop illegal immigrants, drugs, and illegal weapons entering our country from the low-lying waters between the mainland to Trinidad shows his ignorance in understanding national security, naval security. What was supposed to be done is a maritime wall with interceptors and drones. Drones, not your outdated blimp. And again, Keith Rowley, you are the blimp because you certainly do not understand the concept of what it takes to secure the country. So when it is we were able to save 2.4 billion TT instead of purchasing defective OPVs with a defective weapon system at the cost of $1.2 billion more than other OPVs we could have acquired from other countries, what we did is we were able to utilize the funds to be able to now be able to take the loan to acquire the 12 Damen vessels at, guess what, a cost of over $1 billion less than the defective OPVs. Had we acquired those OPVs and wasted $2.4 billion in taxpayers' dollars, we would not have been able to get the loan to pay for the Damen vessels. Keith Rowley, if you do not understand basic accounting, it shows why our economy has collapsed. It shows why it is you can't balance your budget. It shows your incompetence. Because the concept is, by us not acquiring those OPVs, the funds that we saved, we were able to use those funds to acquire dormant vessels that you criticize. These dormant vessels have been used in dozens of other countries around the world. You have discarded those vessels. You did not use it for 8 years when they could have been used to secure our borders. You refused to do so because of political incompetence and because of your arrogance in refusing to utilize anything that was acquired before you. So just to clarify, Kate Rory, you have been weighed, measured, and found wanting. The concept is that you do not even understand the use of an OPV. So to come now, to try to come back with this OPV nonsense, you had these 6 dormant vessels and 2 utility vessels at a cost of over $1 billion less to do the exact thing that the OPVs would have done. And you refuse to use it for several years and instead go to Australia to get hostile vessels. And these type of vessels are only used in Australia and in Trinidad and Tobago, and decided to bypass the dormant vessels. That, Keith Rowley, shows your incompetence. It shows your ignorance in national security, and it shows why you have failed, which is why this country is going to tell you, come August the 14th, enough is enough.